Good evening, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome back to another exciting round of the Cone Racing League Tier 3, what's commonly known as the Banter Tier. And it is wet, and I mean wet. Oh, I've got my wellies with me, but even better, I've got my good friend and former Ferrari teammate and current Tier 5 rival, it is Mr. AFL.
Good evening, good evening.
Oh, it's that time of week again, mate. Time of week again.
Yep, and the weather has certainly made it interesting.
Oh, I even said off screen a moment ago, I hope it's gonna rain, didn't I? And I do feel as if I've done my rain dance for the day.
You've got your wish.
Oh, Suzuka. Now, it's on common knowledge that I'm not a fan of this track, but it's common knowledge that you have some facts for us for today's track. Why don't you rattle them off while we go on board with Tobes, who's the first person to come out of the pits?
Cool. So, obviously, Suzuka, one of the most famous circuits for a couple of teammate clashes. You've got Prost and Senna, and then you've got Prost and Senna again. So, it's definitely a track that is littered with controversy, of course, obviously. Jules Bianchi had his accident here in 2014, obviously rest his soul, in wet conditions as well. But yeah, it's just a track with a lot of rich history, a lot of great drives as well. You've got Kimi Räikkönen winning round here on the last lap, overtaking Fisichella in 2005, I believe, or 2004. Obviously Michael Schumacher, one of his records, he's won here the most times out of all the drivers. So yeah, I'm sure when we go around each track there's going to be records between, say, Schumacher, Vettel, Hamilton, and maybe Verstappen if he carries on. And yeah, I believe it's the only track on the F1 calendar which is in a figure of 8 configuration. But other than that, I'm sure if I find out any more facts I will pass them on to you guys if you guys don't know already. But yeah, looking forward to tonight. Hopefully the weather is better in the race.
Well, speaking of weather, I've had a little bit of an insight from one of our drivers down in the paddock. He says it is wet quali but dry race. So, are people going to go out there and risk it with a wet setup now, or have they gone out there with dry setups because they know that the race is going to be dry? Well, we're on board with Tobes at the moment, who is going to be the first person to set a time when he goes round, but he's only just started. We do have 4 reserves in today's seats. We have got IRTE Crack, or Malvin, as he likes to be known, Blake Scouser, NPC Palmer, and Leon. Those are our 4 reserve drivers for tonight. Obviously, Leon and Harry Palmer, you can find them racing on a Monday night alongside us. Well, not alongside us, but on a Monday night you can find them racing in Tier 4. Harry Palmer missing out on his win by nanoseconds. Nanoseconds, imagine that, being picked to the line by nanoseconds. I mean, at least he gets a second chance. Well, one of the Mercedes is having a bit of a nightmare. We're going to stay on board with Tobes for now, and then we will pop on board with one of the Mercedes who appears to have come to a stop at the moment. I don't know if you're investigating that at the moment, AFL, if you could tell me anything more that we need to know.
Let's have a look. So you got a yellow flag in sector 1. Let me see who is causing it. Currently cannot see anything. It's Leon. He seems to be, I believe he might be just trying to get out of somebody's way. Yeah, he's in quite a precarious position. He's got out of there now, so should be green flag racing. And, oh well, I say that. Oh yeah, we're back to green flag racing now. So, as Rob said, it's wet quali but dry race, so it'd be interesting to see what strategies everybody's going with. Setups, I believe if it's a dry race you just go with a bog standard dry setup and just hope you can keep it on the track in these difficult conditions. I mean, Suzuka is known to have rain. I think last year's race in 2022, where Verstappen clinched the title, that was wet as well. So it's known to rain a lot in Japan.
Now it is. B Rabbit in the Ferrari goes with 1 minute 39, pretty much flat. Seals 6th position. Now, a second ago, I had my mute mic because I didn't realise that I'd accidentally hit the button. So everybody missed my lovely thing I said about Harry, and I'm not going to repeat it. But I paid him a compliment. Right then, Tobes, by the looks of it, is going to be back on an outlap very, very shortly, which he's on now. Let's see who's next across the line. I do believe it's not what they call Paradox. It's keeping track. How do the head commentators... As you can see, I'm still learning it here, people. I do apologise if I'm not living up to people's standards, but we've all got to learn somewhere. Anyway, I do believe it's going to be DC that's going to cross the line next. Now, DC, I'm really happy about. He's on pole, which is fantastic. However, DC was involved in a little bit of an accident behind the scenes this week. Has been injured. But he's here, he's racing. It's good to see him on track. Hargreaves, last week's winner, goes provisional pole with 1 minute 37.7. Let's go and see who else is on outlap at the moment. Esteban, I believe, is going to be crossing the line any second with his next time. How was your race on Monday, AFL? How did it feel for you? Because you finished up the grid a lot higher than what I did. Talk us through it.
Again, I think this is just going to be a trend so far in my seasons. I don't know how I've scumbagged a P5, if I'm being honest.
Consistency.
I mean, I thought I had decent pace in phases of the race, but there was times where I just couldn't keep the car sort of pointing in the right direction, was having a few mini spins, but main thing is I kept out the wall, didn't get any damage, and was able to sort of capitalise on a couple of safety cars that we did have. Yeah, I think in hindsight, if you would have said to me you were going to finish P5 after how I felt going into it, I would have obviously taken that, but you always want more, and I think that's just how we are. Like, we have our races and we're like, right, I could do much better here. So just one of those things. Obviously next week, looking forward to next week, and hope to see if I can end up on the podium. But consistency is key at the moment. If I can get a decent amount of points, I'll be happy.
Yeah, no, couldn't have put it better myself, mate. Well, McCody goes second fastest in the session because Graham Hargreaves improves with a 1 minute 37.3. McCody goes 1 minute 7.7. I'm just going to jump on board with Tobes for a quick second. The Alfa Romeo that is also on his hot lap, I should say. So we've had one Alfa Romeo go round. We've now got the second one going round. If anyone can hear in the background, you can hear my little one running around. It is his bedtime. It's that lovely age, people, where he doesn't want to go to bed. But rest assured, hopefully he'll be in sleep soon. Tobes goes then with 1 minute 39.2. So we're going to jump on board now with Indian Jesus, who is on a hot lap, coming around the first sector quite nicely. There is a yellow flag in sector 2. AFL, can you tell us anything about that?
Let's have a look. It's back to green now, I believe.
Back to green, nothing too much.
Yeah.
That's nice. Aston Martin, your team for the season, AFL. Have you got any insights for us? Any team chat? Any secret tactics you can let us know?
I mean, as I've said this whole season, there is no team chat with Aston Martin, unless there is one and I'm just not in it, which is, it is what it is, if that is the case.
Any of the Aston Martin boys listening, hit your boy AFL up. He's lonely. He needs some friends. He misses you guys. He wants to talk with you. Why haven't you got him in this group chat? Yeah. Anyway, we are on board with Indian Jesus. Obviously, you'll be secretly rooting them on. I'm sure. Obviously, you're gonna be wanting another good result for Aston Martin this week.
Yeah, 100%. Obviously, want Aston Martin to do well, but first and foremost, obviously, just want a good race for everybody.
Yeah, exactly.
Nice clean race, no incidents, and yeah, just May the best person win.
Well, quality seems to be going quite well so far, to be fair. Nothing major to report. A few yellow flags here and there, but nothing too drama. No one's retired early as Indian Jesus comes round to the last corner and goes P12. Well, we've got to jump on board with Leon, who's coming up midway through Sector 2, and will be the last person to set a time. And then everybody that is racing has set a time for today. Oh, one of the AlphaTauris there in the background, very cheekily cutting the corner. He probably has invalidated. But because Leon's not set a time, I feel it's appropriate we stick on board with him for a bit. You'll be over there in AFL, obviously, Mercedes Sport.
Yeah, hoping he does well. Obviously, I've raced with him as well in the past. He was my teammate a couple of seasons ago. I know he's a quick driver as well, gets his head down, so hoping he does well.
Well, Leon is at the back of the pack with 1 minute 40.7, and everyone's set a time, so it's now literally we're going to have people wanting to improve. Let's jump on board with Strauss in the Alpine, who has invalidated, so bye Strauss. Let's go on board with one of my boys for today's session. We are going to go on board with J-Law and see how well he does. I think he could potentially be on an in-lap, to be fair. AlphaTauri had a bit of a good week last week. Obviously, we're going to be wanting to claw some points again this week.
How do you think you guys will fare this week?
I like our chances. I genuinely like our chances, but I don't like him if that's going to happen. Goes wide. He hasn't invalidated, but he will have lost some times off his hot lap there. If it is a hot lap, that is. Right then, let's go find one of the boys that I believe is on an actual hot lap. Indian Jesus, I know, isn't. 4-star by the looks of it, does appear to be on a hot lap. He's got plenty of ERS in the tank, and he is going around quite nicely. Tell you what, like I said, these boys, they've done no major spins. There's been a couple of yellow flags, but tell you what, if it stays like this during the race, we could have some really good overtakes, some really good battling on track, I reckon.
Famous last words.
Well, that's the reason why I said it, mate. No improvement there from 4-star by the looks of it. Just going to jump on board with Staban. What gives Staban a lot of love. Let's see what he can do.
Coney, I'll keep an eye on McConey. He's just about to start his lap now. So Rob, tell me what your favourite part of this track is, because I know you're dying to tell us. Oh, he's probably muted for a sec. But as he's not here, I'll answer for him. He loves the first sector, the S's. I believe that's his favourite part of any track, and I'm sure he will.
I just got back to hear that. No, the S's are not my favourite part of the sector, mate. Any track, mate.
He's lying. He loves it. He loves it.
Well, we've jumped on board with B-Rabbit at the minute, who, as conveniently, is in the S's. I do apologise, little one needed Daddy to come give him a quick cuddle. The joys of being a parent. If anyone out there does have kids, you know exactly what I'm feeling right now, and you're probably going to go, actually, Rob, you know what? I sympathise with you. I certainly hope someone does. Well, we're going to jump on board with B-Rabbit and see what he can do as a time. No, I can't get that taste out of my mouth. I like S's. I really don't. That's one of the dirtiest things I think you've ever said to me.
Keep telling yourself that. It's reverse psychology.
Oh, is that what it is?
You're going to end up liking them.
No.
Speak it into existence.
No. No. You can pray as much as you want, mate.
It.
Oh,
manifest it.
You know how I said we've had no one with a retirement? Well, Clerp's called it a day in the Red Bull. Let's see if we can find... There we go. Strauss is going to approach him. We'll see if we can see him. I think he has been cleared. He has. Palmer's been disqualified for blocking the pit lane. Oh, Oh, Harry, what happened, mate?
I shouldn't laugh.
No, but it's not one of them laughs
If it
where you're
was going to
laughing, is
happen
it?
to one person, it was going to happen to him.
It's one of those where it's such an unfortunate thing, let's face it, and it's just happened. And of course, we weren't on board with him to see it either. Anyway, we're going to jump on board with CRL34, the man in the McLaren, the man on a mission. Let's see what he can do. And the man who very kindly gave us our weather update for today's lobby as well. Expecting big things from him. Panda has also retired and called it a day, not setting a time. The Panda just literally joined and... Yeah, he did, because everybody had set a time, hadn't they?
Yeah.
Panda must be late to the party. But better late than never. It does mean, though, he will be starting at the back of the grid. It won't be the very back, because that's reserved for Harry Palmer. Oh, Harry won't be happy about that. And unfortunately, I don't think it's one of them things where you can really appeal it to the stewards either, because there's not much they can really do on it.
Yeah, I believe he got disqualified because he was letting cars through. Just seeing it in the Discord chat now. So that's obviously a game issue there, and not Harry doing something silly.
No, but it's, unfortunately it is, let's face it, it's not something we can really do. Freefall is now P9. Comms has been all over the place the first bit of the season, but folks, obviously little things going on behind the scenes and obviously still learning it, but rest assured we will have maximum effort during the race. Just bear with us, we are still learning. But it is that time of week. I tried to get him to do it last week and he turned around and said he didn't have anything. It is AFL's Car Fact of the Week.
Yeah, I seem to be getting caught short every week now. Yeah, it's gonna be like a rolling gag every week where you ask me for a fact and I'm just.
You're not gonna have it, are you?
No.
Should I bring back Rob's Sky F1 red button joke? Should we switch to that? Because we might have a bit more luck with that.
Yeah.
Oh dear, right. I'll see if I can time it perfectly and catch you off guard like I used to do with Jonathan, who obviously conveniently will be coming on tier 2 very shortly. That's coming up in the next few moments. But obviously stick here with the banter tier. That's where you want to be. Anyway, we are on board with Real DC. The man, like I said earlier in the week, was involved in a bit of an accident behind the scenes, and it's so good to actually see him on the track.
We wish him a speedy recovery.
Oh yeah, 100%. If you'd asked me to be doing this comms earlier on in the day, so if you'd asked me about 8 AM, I'd have been saying no, because I wasn't well this morning. But luckily throughout the day, I've just slowly felt like me again. People are now starting. So Fake Scouser goes P11. Free4 improves and goes P4. Indian Jesus is currently a 1-2 for Aston Martin. That's what we obviously want to see. We'd love to see a 1-2. Let's go on board now. So we've now got to somehow time this perfectly. B Rabbit crosses the line. P7's for him. Green stays at P1. So it is going to be an Aston Martin 1-2.
Keep an eye on Toes. He just went past through sector 2 for 130R. Let's see if
we can find him. Tobes, where is he?
Just coming across the line now. P4.
P4 for Tobes. He'll take that. He'll be happy with that. Now, as a Red Bull that's going to cross the line, Esteban doesn't improve. He stays P16. Where's going to be next? It looks like it's going to be a Haas by the looks of it. I think we've only got one Haas. Yep, 4-star. He's called it a day. Next is going to be the William. No, it's not. It's going to be an Alpine. There we go. Carnage at its finest. Here we go. How can he do? He's going to cross the line. What can he do? I can't see because Harry Palmer's comments blocked my thing. He goes P5. P5 for Strauss. Who's going to be next? I believe that is going to be J-Law. J-Law stays at P3, so I'm happy with that. Your team's got the front row, but one of my team members on P3. That's what we'll have to see. And I believe that is everybody for their quali. Not bad, to be fair, apart from a couple of hiccups, game related by the sounds of it.
Yeah, I mean, it's bog standard Codemasters issues at the start of the year, start of the game, I should say. should be hopefully fixed sooner rather than later
Hopefully.
with a new patch.
I'm patiently awaiting that red flag patch. Imagine putting a new feature in the game and it not working. Oh dear. So, that will be it for our qualifying. We're now going to go through the grid. And we'll go from there. George Hargreaves, he's saying that he's gone 2 in a row. And that he has. Now, can he convert it to 2 wins in a row? That is the question. So, it is G. Hargreaves in pole position with his teammate Indian Jesus keeping him for company in P2. J. Law and Tobes will rack up behind him on row 2, and then it'll be Strauss and Freefall, McConey and B. Rabbit, Cold Paradox and Real DC finish off the top half of the grid. Then moving on to the bottom half of the grid, Real DC, then it's Fake Scouser, Clark, 4-star KXI, Leon, Staban, Mick, Panda not setting a time due to him arriving late, and CRL Palmer being unfairly, or unfortunately, whatever you want to class it as, disqualified from the session, so he'll be starting at the very back. Your thoughts going into the race, AFL? What is it that you want to see?
Do you know what? Honestly, with it being a wet qualifying session, this could absolutely mean nothing in terms of positions, setups. I think it's going to be an interesting race as well. I wonder if people are going to be doing a 1-stop or a 2-stop, what tyres they're going to be starting on. So
well,
it's
it is lovely and sunny outside.
Interesting race, yeah.
You suddenly feel the sunshine on the comms box. I can suddenly feel it. The rain's just randomly got up and disappeared, and we are going to have a nice dry race by the looks of it. I did a 4-stop, I think, in Japan on Monday. I don't know about you.
I think I did a 3-stop.
3-stop. That's obviously because of safety cars and stuff. Obviously, safety cars can switch up this race. I am expecting at least 1 or 2 in tonight's race.
Yeah. Fingers crossed there are no safety cars, but if there are, then hopefully somebody is going to gamble on that and it's going to help them in the race.
Well, I think we're just waiting on a couple of the drivers to decide their strat. Obviously, strategy can change everything. Any of tier 5 boys watching, take note. There's always someone readies up early in tier 5. And that's it. No, I've done my strategy. No, that's it. Ready up.
I think we should start naming and shaming them, to be honest.
Oh, 100%. As soon as I find out who it is, name and shame all around. Anyway, we are now, obviously there's no formation lap because that is also glitched at the moment. We are 5 red lights and away we go. It's going to be a long one. And has the Aston Martins managed to get off to a great start? That's going to be the question. Now, I was told last week that I forgot to put all my telemetry stuff on. I do apologise for anyone that was watching. But it does appear that Indian Jesus has been caught snoozing. J-Law managed to get past and takes P2 straight away. It's a nice clean getaway for Hargreaves, as by the looks of it, a very, very clean start to this Japanese Grand Prix.
And I believe you may have jinxed it.
Have I? Oh, there's the comms cars. Who's it? It looks like a McLaren's been involved. Oh, there's a Williams as well. Of course. It was CRL Palmer. Oh, she's going from bad to worse for him. Has he got damage? It doesn't appear to look like he's got damage, but... Oh, I am sorry. The commentator's curse straight away. Oh, but... Hargreaves. Amazing getaway. I don't think he could have asked for anything better.
Yeah, I mean, he kept the line, kept the lead off the line. That's one of the most important things. Obviously, Indian Jesus did lose a place to Joe Lawler, but again, anything can happen. They're all sort of keeping the same distance between each other, so it's a long race anyway. Let's see what happens, and obviously, it'd be interesting if the two Aston Martins are quite close together throughout the race, throughout the first stint, who gets preference in the pit box. Wonder if they've had a conversation between themselves, or is it literally just every man for themselves?
Yeah, it'll be interesting to see what exactly does happen between these. Team White is going to be a big strategy. I mean, Hargreaves we want to go 2 for 2, but it's one of those you're going to have to, like you said sometimes, let the other driver pass. Anyway, biggest winner from that obviously was Hargreaves. He didn't lose any positions. The biggest loser from that, believe it or not, was Rio DC, dropping down 6 positions from P10 all the way down to P16. Steban and Mick have come into the pits as well. So
I think somebody we need to speak about is 4-star. He's up 5 places from the start. Don't know if he was involved in any of the shenanigans at the back and just managed to just weave his way through, but fair play to him, 5 places. Yeah, so fair play to 4-star in the ass.
Yeah, no, sometimes that's all it takes, is literally just to get, oh, there's been a bit of a collision, get through, and then away you go. Sometimes that is all it takes.
Interesting tyre strategy as well. It's a mixture between softs, the mediums, and the hards. What did you start on Monday?
Hards. And then I was caught in a turn 1 spin straight away on lap 1. And got damage.
Yeah, that's not what you want.
No, I managed to get back onto the same hards earlier on. Oh, we've got a yellow flag. What's happened? That's a virtual safety car. I don't know what's happened to cause that. Oh, it appears to be someone in the background.
We have Panda in the pits.
It's Panda. I think it is Panda that did cause that VSC. He's not no front wing. Well. It will have been Panda, but he's going to stick them hards on. Get your head down, Panda, and just keep going. I mean, I've very fortunately managed to get. Oh, hang on.
Oh.
That was a very slow spot. Real DC, it goes from bad to worse for him. He's picked up a drive-through penalty for speeding under safety car. So, we've had Harry get disqualified. Real DC with a drive-through for speeding under safety car. Panda loses a front wing, I think, as he was trying to drive into the pits, and I think he's clipped the wall and got away with just wing damage.
Drama.
Interesting. Yeah, it's been a very drama. We're only 3 laps in, so get yourself comfortable, mate, because I think it's going to be a fun one. Seems to be a bit of a battle.
I think we should have a look at the battle for first. Got J Lawler within 2 attempts of Hargreaves.
Oh, this is what we want to hear, yeah. So, I'm going to jump on board with the man challenging for first. We'll jump on board with J-Law, who's burnt through that ERS. I mean, I don't know if you've seen it. Oh, that wasn't clean, boys. Luckily, it just seems to be a bit of a love tap, but that's the thing when you go around that corner with ERS on. And DRS is now been enabled as well by the stewards as well, so I believe we would have had a bit of ERS assist going into that first turn. Desperate to take lead of the Grand Prix. As much as I want to see an AlphaTauri on top, play the long game, lad. Play the long game. Front 3 all on softs. Then it's mediums all the way down to P7. Then it's a mixture then throughout the remainder of the grid. Yeah, my plan on Monday was supposed to go long, so hard, and then I was going to jump to the softs. Should have really thought ahead, to be fair. Remembered what tier I was in, but it is what it is.
You live and you learn.
Yeah, definitely do. So we're going to jump on board. We're going to give Harry Palmer a bit of love, who seems to be catching back up to clap. Tier 4 driver. Yeah, man. Yeah, man.
Guys at the top.
Yeah, definitely do. Tier 4 driver who just very narrowly missed out on his first win of the season. Unfortunately, and I mean, when I say nanoseconds, I mean nanoseconds. One of them drivers that is constantly improving is Harry Palmer.
Looks like a carbon copy into turn 1 again.
Oh, let's jump on board and see what's going on.
They've made contact again.
Oh, I think I just caught the back end of that. The Aston Martin going a bit wide.
Hargreaves has lost 2 positions to his teammate. So Hargreaves, from being in first, has gone down to P3, but I believe there was contact into turn 1 between him and Jay Lawler.
We've put one for the stewards to potentially investigate. Out of curiosity, mate, what colour is the Ferrari?
Do I really need to answer that question?
I would prefer it if you wouldn't mind. Oh, but we do have a retirement. We'll come back to what I was trying to do a minute ago. The moment's now sort of gone. Harry Palmer has retired. I don't know exactly what has happened, but I can't see his car anywhere as we're on board with DC to investigate it. Let's go and have a look, see if Stefan can see it or if Nick can see it. But Harry Palmer is out of the Japanese Grand Prix.
Yeah, it's just gone from bad to worse for him, unfortunately.
It's one of those. I mean, he put his big boy pants on, he came to play with the Tier 3 boys. But so, fair play to him. But no, as I was going to say before Harry Palmer rudely decided to crash out of this Grand Prix, I was going to say, if you press that imaginary red button you've got, if you head on over, you can go live and catch the Tier 2 boys with John, who's now going to be commentating. The moment's gone, the setup's completely gone and what I was going to do. Thanks, Harry, but, yeah. Might have to abandon that gag as well now, but I'll tell you what I did just see and jumped on board with Cold Paradox taking 3-4 on turn 1. I jumped on board right on time with that beautiful overtake from the Williams on the McLaren. I don't know if you're seeing any of this out already. And we've got another yellow flag as well, and it is an Aston Martin. It's Indian Jesus.
We have a safety car as well.
Yeah, it's a full safety car. That is because the Aston Martin...
Oh, he's lost. Yeah, he's
wing
lost
damage.
Front wing. Yeah.
And a 5-second penalty for Cal Paradox's troubles as well. He's just gone from having a beautiful overtake to ignoring yellow flags. All of it's happening now. All the drama.
Yeah, it's all kicking off now.
Now, at this point, we're only 6 laps in. What would you do?
I have no idea, to be honest. I think most of these guys will stick with it, to be honest, unless you go to the hards now for the soft and medium runners. Are you going to get the hards to the end? Is there going to be other safety cars, virtual safety cars? I mean, with the nature of this circuit, yes, there's probably going to be a couple more safety cars, so I'll probably stick with what I've got.
Stick with what you got for now.
Yeah, what about you?
It depends on what tyre it would have been that I'd have started on as well, to be fair. If I'd been on hards and I'd had no damage, I'd have stayed out. But a lot of the boys have come in, and I've got a feeling we're going to see a lot of white walls.
Yeah. So 3-4 is one of the biggest winners here.
Let's take a look and see what positions are gained at the moment. Well, we'll stay on the tyres for now and see what everybody goes with. Mixture. Leon's decided to go for mediums. Hargreaves has gone for mediums. J-Law mediums. 3-4. But the looks of it has stayed out, so he's now in P3. But I tell you what, we've switched from the teams that was leading as a 1-2. We've gone from an Aston Martin 1-2 to an Alfa Romeo 1-2. Tobes and McConey, they've snuck on up. But that is because they have not pitted. Everybody else has now, I believe, done their mandatory pit stop. Yeah, so the only boys that are yet to come in are Tobes, McConey, 3-4. DC has just come in, as I was about to say.
Yeah, so as I was saying, we obviously know nothing because we would have stayed out, but the majority of the field decided to come in, so yeah. Nice, well,
we are Tier 5 drivers, mate.
Doesn't matter. But it is what it is. We'll see what happens in the race anyway. It's going to be interesting. The restart, obviously, Tobes and McConey staying out. And yeah, 3-4-1, 6-lap hold hards. See how far he can take them, and
well, so long as he's looked after him quite well, to be fair to him.
Yeah.
He could be laughing, yeah.
Yeah, and obviously laps on the safety car as well obviously help.
I'm just waiting for the safety car to come back in. I think we're going to have at least one more lap of safety car, to be fair.
Yeah. be one more lap. We're still waiting for Mick, who's right at the back of the field.
We'll show some mix of love, and we'll stay on with him while we get back up to board. But yeah, it's been quite a good race, to be fair.
Yeah,
I've enjoyed it so far.
Drama, and more drama.
Yeah. How about that?
Yeah, I believe it should come in.
Out of bed.
Safety car should possibly be in this lap, I reckon.
Yeah, it should be. What's it called? We've only everyone's pretty much bunched back together now, so it's going to be one of those. It's going to be Tobes that will be leading us on the restart. Will he delay it? Will he decide to just go? What would you do?
It's one of those you've got to try and catch the guy in second napping. I mean, there's quite a few places to go. You can slow them down all the way to 130R and just bolt for it, or you could do the sort of meticulous approach and just crawl the way down to first safety car line and then just go for it. It just depends, because obviously you're going to be giving the guy behind a massive tow, and you don't really want to do that, especially as the lead car. So probably later the better, I would say.
I couldn't have put it better myself, to be fair, mate. Brilliantly thought through, brilliant strategy. Me, I've only led a couple of safety car resets in my CRL career, and I think the only one I actually led was in. I think I've only actually probably led one, if I'm honest, and it was in Monza. I think back when we were in Ferrari together, mate, if I remember correctly. I stayed out on hards, I had a few good laps, and then I came back in for a set of mediums, went on for P3.
Fair play. I believe that's the race I crashed out.
I believe you did, from memory serves. It's that long ago now. That's 2 seasons ago. Feels like a lifetime ago.
I remember that race though, because obviously as a Ferrari driver, you want to do well at Monza, and then just to crash out like that, it was quite embarrassing. So that will stay with me for a while. But was you
chased out of there with pitchforks by chance? Pitchforks and torches?
I'm gonna say no. Tobes has got us underway, and he's got a
good restart. 3-4's having a little bit of a battle with J-Law, who's trying to take position. We'll keep on board with this because this looks to be quite close. J-Law's on the inside. Oh! Big spin!
Contact as well with 3-4.
That will be one to be looked at later. Personally, I think, and I shouldn't say this because he's my teammate, I want him to do well, but I genuinely think J-Law was at fault there. But it'll be one for the stewards to look at tomorrow evening for sure. But he has now dropped down to P12. 3-4, by the looks of it, it's dropped down to P4. Hargreaves has managed to claw his way back up to P3.
Yeah, quite contentious there. I mean, Jay Lawler's been putting in some moves into turn 1 a couple of times. And yeah, that's really all I have to say on the matter.
We leave that to the stewards as comms. We report on it, we don't do much on it.
Yeah, leave that to the stewards, they'll sort that out. But Hargreaves has now got a great run on. McConey coming up to 130R. Are we going to see a famous move? I think we are. And down the inside into 130R, that's a great move by Hargreaves.
That was a lovely move. I just caught the back end of that because I got enticed with watching some of the cars behind them, but it was a brilliantly moved and it was done. He's now up to P2 and he is now catching Tobes. Obviously Tobes on the older mediums in comparison, Hargreaves on the fresher ones. Those fresher tyres proving they have got the advantage, but it's still a long way to go yet.
A long way to go, but Hargreaves is looking really good at the moment. One of those where he's probably going to be trying to stop again, but if he can get in front of Tobes and just leg it and then see where he ends up in a couple of laps, maybe see if he can pit again.
Well, the battle for P1 is now heating up. Tobe's doing well to defend his position, but it is literally going to be a how long till Hargreaves makes that lunge. And is he going to do it on the inside of the spoon? Riding the car, and it's beautifully done, and he takes control of the Grand Prix once again, and Hargreaves leads. Tobe's being left behind. However, there seems to be something that's happened in the back of the grid. J-Law is free-falling. Well, I don't know what's happened, but he is now. And Mick's just decided to go completely and do a bit of off-roading. I'm going to stick on board with these two and see what's happening.
KXI spun, he was in the wrong direction. He's now facing the right way, and hopefully he can get back into the race. Hopefully no damage there from
hopefully.
KXI.
But these two, Mick and J-Law, are having a bit of a battle. We're going to show some love too. There seems to actually be a better battle going on by the looks of it between Fake Scouser and Leon, who are trading paces constantly. Bit of a bump there from Fake Scouser on the back of the Mercedes. DRS is now enabled, and through goes Cold Paradox. That battle between Scouser and Leon has brought Cold Paradox back into the frame, who now looks to try and make it a double overtake, and by the looks of it he has done. But Leon's saying no, the position's mine, and it's a spin! Turn 1 catching a lot of drivers out today, I've noticed. Leon also up ahead has come off. He's pitching a tent in the field. It's Sector 1. That's where...
It's your favourite sector, isn't it? Or...
It's not my favourite sector. But it's causing the most entertainment so far today, so maybe we should rename it Rob's Sector or something.
But Hargreaves stretching his lead now, 1.6 seconds clear of Toes.
Oh yeah, the man's gone. I am on board at the moment with the Haas that is above 3-4 because I've got a free watching at the minute, so I don't know who it is that I'm on board with until that disappears. It's 4-star, who's looking to try and make a move on to Rabbit going up. Good little DRS train going on here. To be fair, it's been quite entertaining so far. To be fair, I'm loving every single second of it.
Yeah, it's been a good race, chaotic but good race so far.
That's been a bit chaotic.
The pits. See what he goes on now.
I'd imagine it's got to be a pair of white walls, surely.
You are correct. He is on a set of hard tyres. Hopefully, barring any mishaps or safety cars, that should take him through to the end.
Now, here's one hoping. We've already had one. We've had one VSC and one safety car. I've jumped on board with B Rabbit, who, by the looks of it, there's a bit of a battle going on for the position from P2 all the way down to P5, and 3-4 is looking to try and potentially get involved in that battle. So it's going to be a battle for P2, which is all the way down to P6. 3-4, I believe, still yet to come in, still rocking them hard olds. And if he plays his cards right, to be fair, could potentially be looking for maybe a potential podium. I don't want to curse it, but we've got a yellow flag in Sector 1, which seems to be a bit of a wobble. I did notice that KXI is also picking up the first penalty of the day for the 3 seconds. But as we gaze onto this track, let's look towards the future. Next week, Australia. Your thoughts on Australia, AFL?
Never really liked the old format of Australia. Just thought it was just you were too close to somebody in terms of there was always somebody next to you.
Yeah.
And it was just anything could happen. I think now that they've opened it up a little bit, I think the cars follow better. It's a good track for overtakes, and I'm looking forward to that.
I need to get some practice on it.
Hopefully it's a clean race, and yeah, good one for everybody.
I need to get some practice. I've not done my practice on it yet. Anyway, the Alfa Romeo of Marconi has now come in, who has also opted for a set of hards, and hopefully that will now see him through to the end of the race, like you said a moment ago, bearing any safety cars. So I believe the only person which is on track is the man we are on board with, who's not pitted. It is CRL 3-4. Those hards do seem to be lasting quite well, to be fair. I don't think they show any signs of giving up at the moment. Hopefully that stint behind the safety car, hopefully done those hards some good. But I tell you what, let's just have a quick glance at Hargreaves. He's now increased his lead to 3.5, and he just seems to be in a division of his own. He did this last week, if I remember correctly, as well.
It's obviously a trend with him.
Well, maybe, just maybe, might be a potential up to tier 2. Maybe that pace is just a little bit too quick for these boys, so maybe a promotion might be in order. Anyway, tell you what though, just like in Rio F1, the battle for F2 is getting spicy. Strauss, Brabit and 4-Star are now having a bit of a battle. Brabit getting past Strauss and is now taking P2. 4-Star desperately trying to get involved with this battle, but Strauss is definitely trying to take that position back. Clean, very clean, that's what we like to see. I believe any second is now as well. The tier 1 boys, the top dogs, they're about to be getting underway for their race in Japan as well. That is where the big bad boys play. That's the ones that play with no assist. They are literally, that's the reason why we call them the top dogs in tier 1, because they literally play as if they are actually on this track. Let's see if we can find some battles going on somewhere. There seems to be a bit of a mid-pack battle going on at the moment from Rio DC down to about IRT Mick. We're all just settling in now. They've had their bumps and their
seems to have settled. Yeah,
they've had their bumps. They've had their handbag moments. Only one retirement so far, and that is obviously CRL Palmer, obviously coming to an unfortunate end. Obviously, he had the qualifying ban. Not qualifying ban. I should say disqualified from qualifying, although qualifying ban probably would make him sound a bit happier. But anyway, 3-4 is over. Oh, Clerp! Oh, it's a VSC Clerp, and the Red Bull's gone out. I don't know what's exactly. Oh, we got spins in the background. Mick's doing some donuts on the starting straight. But the Red Bull, we're going to jump on board with KXI, who's about to come around. Where is the Red Bull? I think it's now despawned, so we're not going to be able to see it. But KXI taking that opportunity to come in. He's got a 5-second penalty for speeding the pit lane. But I can only assume it's going to be a fresh set of yellows which is going to go on, which will see him out for the last 12 laps of the race. Now, let's turn our attention to the man who's not pitted yet. 3-4. Now, VSC is now ended. Surely at this point you'd be thinking now's the time to come in, or do you think you could potentially see it out and go for a set of reds?
I think he'll just hold out until he can get the soft tyres to the end.
It'll be interesting.
One of those that he'll drop quite a bit though, because the gaps.
Yeah, it's close. If he was to pit now, I think he'd probably come out P15?
Yeah, P15. Yeah, P15.
Yeah, because KXI's
minimum, yeah.
Yeah, so it would be P15. But then again, he's on them softs. He'll be on fresh softs. But you tell you what, he must be listening to us because he's trying to go for the overtake on Fake Scouser.
Yeah, he's trying to get a move on.
No, he is going to have DRS. Well, he's hurt. Now, what's it going to... This could be either yellows or reds. I'm going to probably go with yellows now.
I think safe bet is to go on a set of mediums, and that is what he's done.
Yeah, he's decided to go for mediums.
You're guaranteed to get.
Yeah, and if he really wants, because he's not used to set a soft set. Let's face it, he could. If we do get one of them last-minute safety cars, we could probably expect a set of reds to come on at that point. Right then, let's jump on board with. Let's see how our top 3 are doing. So. The gap's closed a little bit between Brabit and Greaves. 4-Star, it's starting to spread out nicely between the top 3, to be fair. Strauss is now trying to retake position on 4-Star. A safety car would switch this up, but still quite tame. Let's see if we can find some battles going off somewhere, shall we? Make our way down the grid. How's IRT Mick getting on after those donuts? McConey, he's all... Everyone's spread out quite nicely.
I mean, if they're all spread out, then there won't be much incidents.
No, there's positives and negatives to it. Obviously, there's not much for us to report on at the minute, but the stewards must be sat there breathing a sigh of relief. But we've already had quite a few incidents so far, let's face it. There's going to be a few that need reporting. I'll tell you what then, let's jump on board with 4-star, who's trying to hunt down P2. Well, Strauss is slowly starting to gain on 4-star, so finally a little bit of an overtake action is coming up. Let's see if Strauss can catch up. Go on, Strauss, give it some welly. Ten laps to go on the Japanese Grand Prix, and it's not been too bad. And as I say that, I believe that's Mick. Or is it... Yes, it is Mick. Yellow flag for Mick. His teammate 3-4 now starting to catch up. I don't know what happened there because it did say that Mick was still moving. He appeared to be on track, so I didn't really catch it. If I'm honest, I don't know if you saw it or not, mate.
No, I didn't catch it either. I was just trying to flick through, but no, it was too late.
Mick, I saw that though.
Seen that.
No, we saw that, mate, and that's on stream. 3-second time penalty heading your way. But it is just all... Everyone is sort of... They're near each other, but they're not in striking distance of each other. Everyone's paced hard. As we speak, though, Indian Jesus has come into pit. I don't know if he's got damage or not. It's still... Oh, he's called it a day. Well, it started off as a 1-2 for Aston Martin. Has ended up with just one car on the grid.
Similar to my race on Monday. My teammate retiring, similar lap as well. Around this time.
It is a hard circuit, it really is. It's so twisty, it's so turny. There's only so certain places, let's face it, you can really go for an overtake on. And if you mistime them, no.
I think that's what makes this track so special, though. It's a proper racer's track. Put one foot wrong and it's game over.
Yeah. Well, I'm watching at the moment between Cold Paradox and Panda. Good little battle going on between these, and it's bringing...
Interesting.
Slowly. Who's pitting?
Hargreaves. In the lead, yeah.
And that just means Rabbit will take control of the Grand Prix. Surely, this has got to be maybe some sort of damage. He wouldn't just come in for no reason at this point.
Soft tyres. He was on the mediums, and I believe the mediums wouldn't get to the end. So, he's come out. He's got a lot of work to do, but he's going to be on those fresh softs. Anything can happen. And he gets that just in front of Tobes and McConey, which could be very important for his race. So let's see what he can do now on these fresh softs.
See if he can get involved. There could be some battles. I think we should stick on board with him to begin with. With those fresh softs, he should be able to just get round the competition.
Yeah. Oh. Yeah, he's got that move done. Past the band. Spoon curve. through 130R, one of the most famous corners in motorsport. But yeah, the real work now starts for Hargreaves now. Can he get back up to the lead?
Well, a lot of drivers are starting to suddenly go for new softs. Esteban, DC, Leon and Mick have all copied him. And they've all got put on some fresh reds. This could get quite interesting. I'm going to stick on board with Leon for a little bit. We've not given him some love tonight. Leon obviously reserving from Tier 4 up into Tier 3. And he is riding in that Mercedes. Still all to play for with 8 laps left in this Grand Prix. There seems to be a bit of a mid-pack battle going on. And of course, it is Hargreaves leading the charge. He's now hunting down the Panda and Cold Paradox. If he keeps this up, I think he could be easily pushing for a podium again tonight. He just seems to be on a different level. Here we go, he's going for the move on Panda, gets it done well and beautifully, and he's, but I'll tell you what though, Panda, he's going to try, but I don't think it's going to be enough. Them new softs just proving too much for the hards, and Hargreaves makes his way up into P6. Now the hunt for Cold Paradox begins. You can just hear the Jaws theme in the background as Hargreaves hunts him down. He hasn't got DRS assist at the moment, but I don't think it's going to be too long, and let's face it, I don't think he's going to need it. Oh, was that a small love tap between the Aston Martin and the Williams? I don't know.
He is rapid at the moment.
He is on another planet. I genuinely think there could be a promotion to Tier 2 coming very, very shortly. 2 poles, and can it be 2 wins? The ban picking up a 5-second time penalty for speeding in the pit lane. He's only got 1 lap hold softs on. Could this potentially be a retirement for him, or is he going to come back out? He's coming back out, I think. We'll find out in a moment. But Hargreaves is now hunting down Fake Scouser. If you was Rabbit in this position, would you be sitting there going, I'm in trouble here, boys?
Nope, honestly, because as I've always said, track position is key. And yeah, it's one of those. Hargreaves could do all of this and still not get past Rabbit. Rabbit's all he's got to do is just keep it on the track, keep it steady, and if he has to defend the lead, he has to defend. I think by the time Hargreaves may get to him...
sorry to interrupt, mate. I don't know if you're watching Hargreaves, but that was a beautiful overtake around the outside from Hargreaves on Fake Scouser, who's now up to P4. Sorry to interrupt there, mate, but that was gorgeous.
No, it's all good, it's all good. No, but what I was saying is, like, Rabbit, all he has to do is just keep on the track and stay in front. That's all he has to do, really. Track position is key, always.
Yeah, track position is always key. Well, Strauss and 4-star are having a little bit of a battle between them at the minute, switching places. Strauss now up to P2, 4-star drops to P3. If they keep battling like they're doing, Hargreaves is going to be with them any moment. Just all that little on-track battling that they're doing. Let's see. Rabbit's not too far ahead, but hopefully the Ferrari can just keep that pace going. Let's see if there's any battles going on mid-pack at the moment. A lot of drivers coming around Spoon at the moment. There's Scott, DC, he's coming up now to it. Everyone's nicely paced there. Leon's literally mid-pack. Everyone is like the same distance from each other. The real battles is going on up front. We'll jump back on board just in time with this. The battle at the Haas, the battle of the Alpine. He is going to get DRS. So 4-star, can he get the overtake done and retake back position 2 on the main straight? Let's see it. Is it going to happen? He's burning through his ERS as well to get the overtake. He's got the overtake on Strauss and the inside lane going into turn 1. Nicely clean, nicely done, and retakes back 2nd place.
And if they continue battling, then Hargreaves will be with them momentarily. So it's one of those where they, obviously, you want to be the lead car, but you've got to think the long game as well. And try not to trip over each other as well, because that could be a very costly error.
Well, Hargreaves is slowly catching that time, coming down slowly but surely. Pretty much 5 laps left to go, 4 laps left to go at this point. It could be doable, but Rabbit seems to just be increasing that lead quite nicely on 4-star at the moment, so hopefully he's done all he needs to do just to stay out in front. Like you said, consistency is key. Anyway, Strauss and 4-star just having a lovely battle at the minute. Strauss now really trying to click back P2, but in the distance you can see him. There he is. Hargreaves is gaining and he's catching. Strauss, I believe, is going to go for a nice overtake on the inside, but I believe the Haas is just a little bit too far in front of 4-star. He is, so that means Strauss is going to get DRS as we now come on to the starting straight. We can have another little battle for P2. Hargreaves is sat there rubbing his hands. He's coming, boys. Get going. And Strauss retakes back second place. It's lovely battling between these two boys tonight.
Yeah, nice clean racing. That's what we like to see.
Tell you what though, I don't know if you've seen it, but that helmet design of Strauss, that looks amazing. The gold and the green really complement each other quite well. Reminds me of my football team's new kit.
Oh, who is that you support?
I support home, mate. Plymouth Argyle. Kit's always green, but because we went up as champions from League One this season, they've added a bit of gold to the kit. It looks really, really nice. If you haven't already, honestly, go check it out. One of the best kits they've done in a few years, to be fair. I need to actually get one ordered. Oh, sorry, I'm going off topic here. I've just got into the other realms of sport. Anyway, we're back on board now. We're still on board with Strauss. We're back in F1 reality here. Hargreaves has caught up. He is now in DRS striking zone of 4-star. Can he do it? That's the question. Here we go. We'll have DRS on 4-star. 4-star will have DRS on Strauss. Strauss will be sitting there and he'll be going, oh no, I've got a quick Aston coming and I've got a battle going off at the same time.
He's just got to keep it on the track.
Yeah. Can he
Don't
hold
worry
on?
Too much.
It is nervous though, let's face it, obviously for those that are watching at home and obviously just like to enjoy watching the race instead of obviously racing it. When you're in a position like this and you know you haven't got DRS and there's boys behind. Speaking of which, we've got a yellow flag in sector 3. I believe that's for a Red Bull. A Red Bull is spun. There is wing damage. J-Law gets round.
Yeah.
I don't believe there's going to be a safety car. If there was, it'd have to come out now because the game is programmed for there to not be any safety cars in the last 2 laps of the race.
I mean, Rabbit in the Ferrari must be just enjoying life at the moment. Like,
well, he's about to lap the
6.5 second lead. Yeah, he's had a very quiet race, but do you know what? Those ones where you just keep it clean and yeah, just drive off into the sunset. That's pretty much what he's doing. So fair play to him. Obviously, he's going to be interested in the battle for P2 because 4-star and Strauss are having a ding dong, and you have Hargreaves as well on the soft tyre.
That's the thing though, Rabbit is up 7 positions.
Yeah.
And is now leading the Grand Prix. 4-star will be rubbing his hands as well. Started 13th, he's now 3rd. Panda started 18th, he's now 8th. So there's been some good positions made by these boys today. It's been really good racing. Obviously there's been points where obviously it's been a bit hard to commentate on, but nonetheless it's been good racing. There is a yellow flag and I believe what's happened, it's all green flag. The majority of the track just went yellow then on my mini map. I don't know if it was the same for you.
Yeah.
Anyway, let's get back on board with this amazing battle for P2. They're keeping it clean.
Hargreaves up to P3.
That was nice, but I tell you what though, 4-star is not wanting to concede the position. He's got the advantage going onto the inside. Now, can he keep it going into this turn here? Can he defend? And I think the answer is yes. He's managed to get that quite nicely.
That is really good defending there.
It's good battling. KXI is setting the fastest lap of the race in 1 minute 28.1. However, because of how far down the grid he is, he will not get the point for it. But the way to look at it is, if I've got it, at least they haven't. That's the way I look at it when I'm down that low. And it is a lovely battle here as we enter the final lap of the race. Can Hargreaves get back round and get on the podium? Can Strauss and 4-star hold off? I think Rabbit's done what he needs to do to get this podium personally. It all depends if, let's face it, if Hargreaves can just get round. Fake Scouser has retired in the pit lane. He has completed 90% of the race, so if he was in the points it'd count, but he's just gone from having points to put himself out of it. I'd have saw out the end of the race there personally, Scouser, but fair enough. Hargreaves looking to try and make the move on 4-star. Can he get it done this time? 4-star defending like a brick wall, not letting him past. Hargreaves, his fuel indicator light is blinking. He's running low on fuel. He gets round and he's up into P3. Can 4-star get back? Oh, we're going to be on for a little battle here. We will jump on board with Rabbit as he crosses the line in a second and to win, obviously, the Japanese Grand Prix. But the real battle is going off for P3 between 4-star and Hargreaves. Let's welcome our race winner, Rabbit, across the line as he wins the Japanese Grand Prix. Strauss has done what he needs to do to stay as P2, and Hargreaves will go P3, 4-star P4. And what a battle right to the end it was.
Yeah,
for these three.
Finish to the race. Yeah.
Everybody now slowly starting to cross the line. Time penalties being applied for those that haven't served them. Like I said, there's been times where it's been quite tame, but it's still been a good race nonetheless.
Yeah, good finish to a good race.
Everyone crossed the line, just waiting for the likes of J-Law to cross the line apparently. I'm pretty sure he has already crossed the line, but what a race. Literally, what a race. I do believe it'd be advised that we get these boys in for a quick chat. I'm just going to at them in the Discord and see if any of them are up for a quick chat this evening. Obviously, it is completely optional, boys, if you are watching. Obviously, do let us know, but I'm going to at you anyway. But that is it for our Japanese Grand Prix. It's been a quite nice race.
It's over in a flash, to be honest.
It does, it goes by so quickly. I've added them and asked them if they want oh yeah, no, it isn't 4-star that needs an interview. You know what, actually, I do want him in anyway. It's Strauss. If you could go ahead and send the top 4 interview, if you wouldn't mind, buddy. So 4-star, Hargreaves, Strauss and Rabbit.
Top 4?
Top 4. I want to have a word with 4-star. I want to see what was going through his mind as we those last little bits. Anyway, just to round things off, Brabbitt, Strauss, Hargreaves, 4-star, Marconi, Cole Paradox, 3-4, Panda, Tobes, Real DC, Leon, Mick, J-Law, KXI, Fake Scouser, Staban, Indian Jesus, Clark, and Panda in that order.
Just do this info now, wait 1 second.
Just patiently await now for the boys to come in and have a quick chat. Obviously, it is completely optional. Hopefully, they do.
Just trying to figure out how I did it last week, how I invited them. Oh, there you go. It's been a long day. So Brabbitt, 4-star, you said. Who else, mate?
So it's Brabbitt, Strauss, and Hargreaves. I don't think 4-star is up for a chat by the looks of it.
I've added the top 3 in anyway.
The boys are starting to slowly come in now, one by one. Just wait for the other two to pop in, and then we'll have a quick chat with the lads, and then as if obviously the others do want to join. Alright, so while we are waiting for the other two to join, Brabbitt, our race winner for Japan for Series 9. Talk us through it, mate. How did that go?
Yeah, I'm quite happy. I mean, it reminded me of last week. I mean, we had an early safety car.
Yeah.
And I knew the hearts will last for at least 20 laps, so I was going for it. I was a little bit confused that the Alphas in front of me both stayed out, so I'm not sure if this was the right call, but yeah, I have to say really congrats to all the drivers. It was really fair battles from my point of view, so I'm quite happy right now.
No, it was a good little battle, to be fair. It was between, I don't know if you saw it behind you, but there was a good battle going off for the last 2 podium spots between 3 drivers. Obviously you started low down on the grid today, but you managed to pull your way back up. How does it cope with that safety car? Is that where you feel, is it really turned around for you after the safety car before it, or?
To be honest, I think without the safety car, I think top 5 finish would be possible. But yeah, I think today the strategy worked fine for me, and yeah, I saw the battle behind on the standings or on the table. I was surprised that the Aston Martin had such a good pace on the mediums. I mean, I only could hold the gap but couldn't close it, so I was playing the long game and tried to keep the hearts on long life. And yeah, but all in all, it was a quite good race. I'm really happy that there was no late safety car, because this would be unnecessary from my point of view. But right now I cannot. I'm really happy right now.
Enjoy that win, mate. Enjoy that win. We'll come back to you in a moment, Brabbitt, where we ask you all the same question right at the very end. But let's move down to P2. Strauss, how was that, mate? It was a good little battle you gave us there right at the very end.
Thank you.
No, you put on a good show for us, to be fair, mate. Talk us through, obviously, when the safety car came out. Talk us through what was going through your mind at that point. No, I mean, thoroughly well deserved, mate. Your P2 there. It was a good battle you put up with to get that P2 as well, right at the very end. So, massive congratulations. We will come back to you in a moment. FL, have you got anything that you want to add to our top 2 so far?
No, just well done. It was an interesting race to watch from obviously the comms box, but yeah, well done to everybody tonight.
Right then, so we now turn our attentions to P3. Now, 4-star, you've joined us as well for this one, because we obviously want to hear from your end as well. The battle between, obviously, our P3 winner, Hargreaves, and yourself, 4-star P4, just from YouTube point of view, right at the very end there, how close was that on track? Obviously, it was one thing looking at it from a spectator's point of view, but what was it like for you two, those last few laps, that good battle you put on for us there?
I knew it was coming, and it was a case of being ahead of Strauss when he came, and I just didn't. I had an opportunity at turn 1, but I just couldn't get the move done. And from that point, I knew I was in trouble for the rest of the lap. Then of course he caught me, and Strauss got away a little bit, and then it was all game over from there. But you can owe me, Strauss, that one. You can get me next time.
Regardless though, mate, you've still got to be happy with a top 4 finish, especially with that amazing battle you put on right at the very end.
No, because it should have been second, and last week was 4th, and it should have been 1st had I not pitted. But
consistency, mate. Consistency.
I need to sort my qualifying out, because for some reason I just can't qualify, and then kind of luck out in the race. I don't know why. Can't explain it, but I'll always qualify at the back, and then it's always an uphill battle from there.
Hey, if that's what works for you, bud, then it's working at the moment. Hargreaves, talk us through it, mate. What was it like from your point of view to get that P3 right at the end?
Honestly, I mean, it was a great battle and I really enjoyed it, but I'm frustrated that I've screwed up the strategy again. I should have... It was my race to win. If I'd have pitted for hards on the safety car instead of mediums, I reckon I'd have been up there. But obviously the battles were amazing right at the end. If I'd have got the move... I was a bit hesitant on trying to overtake 4-star. If I'd have got the move done maybe a lap or 2 before, I might have got P2, but... It was a really fun race, so I can't complain, but could have been more, but podium's still really good.
From our end, what's it called? 'Cause obviously you got pole, and then for the majority of the race you did lead the race, and a couple of times on stream me and FL were discussing it, that we think your pace is there. It could potentially maybe a move up to tier 2, because you've gone pole and win and pole and podium, so the consistency is there.
Honestly, I don't want to go up to tier 2. I've not had a championship battle ever before in F123, so I want my chance. But
there we go. You've heard it there. Your head admins it. He wants his chance, so leave him alone.
No, take him away. Take him away.
No. I'm absolutely fine where I
am. But no, it was good watching. To be fair, what the lot of you. To be, it was at some points. Obviously, everyone just sort of hunkered in, and everybody was nice to pace, and then all of a sudden out of nowhere you boys then just suddenly started battling each other. It was great.
Yeah.
But that's Japan.
I have to ask, Strauss, were you intentionally working with me then? Because I was intentionally working with you, just like swapping DRS. Okay, that's good. Yeah, good. Good, yeah, I was the same, so that worked. Good. Agreed. Yeah, and I was the same, yeah.
It's always good to see when that's on there. But anyway, we have to turn our attention away from Japan now, boys, and we look forward to next Thursday, and that is where we head down under to Australia. Anyone got any thoughts? I heard someone mumble under their breath then. Who was that? Come on.
I have no idea. Who was that?
Not a fan?
Well, about as much of a fan as I am as Japan, so it's a good start.
You got a podium in Japan,
true,
if you're not a fan. So
vigorous practice, so.
Rabbit, how are you feeling about Australia?
I think it will be interesting because of the long straights, and I think it depends on the weather. So in dry, I think it will be funny, but in the wet, it will be crazy.
Strauss? And then 4-star. Your thoughts?
Don't like it or hate it more than any other, to be fair. Just,
well,
come what may.
Just remember, boys, it's the first time. It's obviously the new Australia track as well. Yes, I believe it's the 4 DRS zones in F123. So obviously they've got the improved corner already in the back end of the track, but I'm pretty sure in this game it's 4 DRS zones. So a lot.
Exciting.
So me and Strauss can swap places even more. Is that what you mean?
That's what you boys want to do, then, for sure. But no, boys, honestly, there's a lot of you great racing today. And AFL, have you got anything you want to add, mate?
No, I haven't really got much to say in regards to that. You've covered everything. No, again, just well done to the top 4. Put on a really good show for everybody, and I hope all the viewers enjoyed watching tonight. So yeah, thanks guys, much appreciated.
Yeah, thank you.
So that is it for Tier 3 for tonight. For those that are watching at home, Tier 2, I believe, are in the middle of their race at the moment. But if you want any more racing action, then head on over to Tier 1. Where they're also, I believe, they should be pretty much done with their qualifying, probably starting their race about now. But that is it from me, and that's it from AFL. So we're gonna get off for the night, and we'll see you all next week as we head down under to Australia.